When I was learning to drive, I was scared, so now it's routine. When I was learning to present, I was scared. I developed a routine. And it starts as soon as I'm asked to present. I ask how much time we have, because the size of the subject to explore in the presentation has to fit the available time. It's the most overlooked thing in presenting. I ask if I'm going to be introduced and if that's a part of my allotted time. I ask about the audience, the numbers of them, what they need, their backgrounds. And I also check out the site where I will do the presentation, the setup, the format for the day, the tech support that may be available, the time of day I will present. It's a different presentation in the morning than in the afternoon. I prepare at least a day before I deliver the presentation. It means fewer mistakes. And as a first step, I focus the presentation. This is not an information dump. It's an attempt to connect with people. So I decide what I want my audience to think, feel, or do. And then I write it in one sentence. And I refer to that sentence as I prepare the presentation to help me decide what to leave in and what to take out. So for this presentation, I want the audience to adopt a routine for creating presentations because it removes my fears and helps me better meet the audience's needs. And I don't include a lot of things that have nothing to do with that. I decide what visual aids to use. They have to do something useful to help me accomplish the goal of making the audience think, feel, or do something. In PowerPoint, no more than 4 bullet points per slide. I never write sentences. I never write slides to read to the audience. That's just insulting and wrong. Audiences will retain more of your presentation if you use a flip chart or a whiteboard. Now it's time to write my presentation. I write the opening line, then I write the last line, and with that focus sentence in mind, I connect the dots. Using short sentences. It's easier to breathe when you read out loud. I never hand write a presentation. I type it, and I use a margin that's 55 spaces wide because each one of those 55 space lines is 3 seconds. It helps me time the presentation. I use a lowercase font because it's easier to see the shapes of the word. The eye recognizes the shape of the word before it begins to interpret the letters and the words. For that same reason, I use a large font and I double or triple space my script. And then I practice. I read it out loud. And if I make a mistake, I think about rewriting that line. And if I flub it twice, I definitely rewrite that line. I time the presentation and then I add or cut things to meet my requirements. That's my routine. Take what you want, leave the rest, and develop your own routine.